Hi guys, so I'm McCormack. I'm currently a student at college and I'm majoring in art education. So a little bit about me, my origin story, if you will. I started to speak at 9.5 months old until I lost all of my words. I was still a happy baby, but my mom knew something was different about me. I was tested at 15 months and diagnosed with autism when I was 1.5. I began home-based early intervention doing speech therapy, occupational therapy, and physical therapy. From what I was told, my parents weren't sure if I would be able to speak. It's funny because now my parents wonder if I'll ever stop speaking. So, when I first went to school, I started out in my town, but my mom wasn't happy with the accommodations. So the following fall, I started at a better school for me called the Valley Program. Back then, even the smallest things, such as running, writing, playing with toys, and making friends and communicating with people was challenging. But thankfully, I had occupational, physical, and speech therapy to help teach the things that would come naturally to other kids. Because of my strength in academics, I gradually transitioned from the self-contained classes within the Valley Program to being part of the mainstream classes with the other kids, having the support of my aides to help me with every step. After years of hard work and determination, I graduated 8th grade and aged out of the Valley Program, heading towards Northern Valley Regional High School in Old Japan, attending all mainstream classes under the TIP program. So that's where I went to high school. High school brought a new environment with new students and teachers. It was initially difficult navigating through unfamiliar territory, but after joining a few clubs, not only did I manage to push myself out of my comfort zone, but I even fell into a tight-knit friend group who've had my back throughout high school. When I look back on this experience, I think about all of my achievements, being inducted into the National Honor Society for my academic achievement, and the International Thespian Society after leading the props department in my school's theater program. And I also became the co-president of the Gender Sexuality Alliance at my school, and I also became the treasurer at the Hand in Hand Club, where high schoolers mentor and enjoy activities alongside kids with special needs. My experience at Northern Valley Old Japan has taught me the importance of commitment as well as organizational and leadership skills. And that experience has led me to where I am right now. While I'm still a freshman and I haven't had too much college experience yet, I've taken what I've learned from high school to get myself a head start. Once again, branching out into clubs and being confident and my most authentic self when meeting and talking to other students. The difference between when I went to high school and when I went to college is almost night and day. Along the way, I've also gravitated towards drawing as a hobby and passion of mine. I could always be found making comics or drawing on my iPad. Having this creative outlet to express myself and navigate through the stresses and challenges of life has had such a positive impact on me. My passion for art not only encouraged me to major in art education, but it also paved the way for my family and I to start a sticker business back when I was in 7th grade. Launching at the beginning of Autism Acceptance Month in 2020, the sticker spectrum kept me occupied through the COVID pandemic and beyond. I can recall all the times I designed stickers on my iPad during my virtual classes. The sticker spectrum has helped me share my story and talent, and it's opened up doors that I never thought were even possible. Over the past few years, I've had opportunities to speak at events, sell my products at art fairs and stores, and gain the confidence to discuss and sell my products with complete strangers. Many of these opportunities can actually be attributed to bridges. They've helped a lot in bringing the sticker spectrum to where it is today. There's no denying that I've come a far way since first opening the business, helping me hone in on my art skills and develop my own unique style. Of course, running a business isn't always easy, but thankfully I'm not alone. While I'm the head artist of the sticker spectrum, the business wouldn't exist without the help of my sister over here, who runs the website and our social media page, and my mom, who's over here. She takes care of the business side of things. She's also the one that pushed me to take an entrepreneurship class going into my senior year of high school to learn the back end of running a business. While the subject wasn't always the most interesting, I can admit that what I got out of the class will undoubtedly help me throughout my future endeavors, with college, the sticker spectrum, and beyond. With this knowledge in mind, alongside my mom's help, I've compiled some tips that will help you all conquer the world of entrepreneurship. So, when it comes to running a business, there's two paths that you can take. Starting a business from scratch or buying into a franchise. Franchising is essentially running a business that already exists but starting at a specific location. With the business plan, rules, and operations already set up, all you need to do is gather the money needed to buy the franchise and undergo the training necessary to run things in the image of the franchisor. Furthermore, with a familiar name under your belt, you'll have less struggle attracting customers. Franchising isn't easy, however. Buying into a franchise can be very expensive, and the training process can take months. You also need to be strategic on your location in order to avoid competition. For example, you wouldn't want to open a Jersey Mike's franchise right next to a Subway. Of course, we did not go this route, and instead we started from the ground up. For us, we started with two things that we love. My art and my mom's love and her ability to make stickers. At first, all of our stickers were paper and made in-house. But now, 5 years later, actually now it's 6 years later, it's crazy, we make a variety of products and we outsource our stickers, which means we get them made by someone else because they have the giant equipment that can make waterproof, long-lasting vinyl stickers. I still draw everything digitally on my iPad, so the designs are still hand-drawn and completely original. I think it's important to do something that you have a passion for, so you feel like you want to work hard on it. While there are days where I'm not in the mood to design, if we have a deadline, it has to be done. Once you decide what you want to do, you have a lot to consider, like startup costs, where you will run your business, product pricing, etc. It's great to work with someone who you trust and who may be knowledgeable about running a small business. You can also work with organizations such as the Small Business Development Center, which runs here in Rockland County. So overall, there are many pros and cons to running your own business. The pros are that you're your own boss. You can do something you love. You can make your own hours, more or less. And if you're like me and you need a break every so often, you can take one. The cons are that you're your own boss. So you're in charge of everything, and you can't always just end your day at 5 p.m. and go home. There are deadlines, and if you have a big order, it can take a while to finish. Also, sometimes running a business will not bring in enough money, at least at first, to allow you to live on your own. It's easy for me as a student, but I couldn't do this if I had my own apartment. Oh yeah, I commute to college, by the way, so I don't even have a dorm either. Our product is not something people necessarily need, and the prices are low. So we're trying to think of products to go with our stickers to hopefully make higher sales. Our goal is to add more cool things that may appeal to our customers and promote our business to larger groups that may want to use our designs for their employees. There's a lot involved, and I just mentioned a few of the important points. Alright, so that is pretty much it. If you guys have any questions about me or the sticker spectrum or about running a business, please let me know. I really appreciate it. It honestly, has taken more time to make stickers like now in comparison to when I started, just because my artistic skills have developed so much to the point where like a sticker design can take like up to like a whole day, as opposed to when we started in 2020 when it took me like an hour or so to make a sticker design, or even like a few minutes. It also is easier when there's like certain elements that I can like rearrange into a unique sticker design. That definitely like speeds up the process a little bit. And it's still my original work. So, yeah, but it's definitely like a commitment to like make all the designs. So, usually, well, I'm gonna be honest, usually if my mom comes up with the ideas a good amount of the time, but there's also some times where like, if I'm like thinking about like holidays that are coming up or like special events, then I'll end up like thinking of like a design that I could make. Usually like when my mom like tells me like what like designs we could do, I usually like reinterpret it like in my own way. So like for example, like with like the dragon that I made, it's like my mom told me, oh, it'd be cool if we made like a really like cool dragon. So I was like, okay, and then I basically came up with like the blue, pink, purple color scheme, and like the unique design. So yeah, it's definitely a team effort for sure. And we usually like all come together to like discuss like the designs and like what we're going to do with them. So yeah.
Do themes. We
like themes for sure.
When certain schools do musicals, we have worked with a couple of schools. So this year they're doing, the one we're working on is Matilda. So we'll say like, here are some thoughts. Matilda has to do with books and with this and that, and then Liam just comes up with things. But themes are our favorite because it's a way for him to kind of lock in and figure out. Yeah. You lock it, but you did a really, like the Matilda, it's great.
My brain works in crazy ways sometimes.
Yeah. So themes are always good.
Cool, though.
Oh, the stickers? Yeah, thank you. I'm glad you like them. I think the dragon took a little while. Definitely like at least a day, if not 2 days, to complete it. I mean, honestly, I don't like fully remember at the back of my mind, but yeah, it definitely took a while, that one. But I think it turned out really well. So that's a good question. So actually, I'm gonna be honest, I felt like I've had like a little bit more free time as opposed to high school. And I feel like the main reason for that is because I don't have like the same amount of like classes every single day. So like for high school, it's like you go in at like 7 o'clock and you end at 3 o'clock every single day. But with college, there you could get to pick your own schedule. So because of that, I've had at least a little bit more time to myself. There's still like there's definitely more homework, of course, with college. But I definitely felt that. And also, another thing, too, that definitely helps is that there's little to no classes on Fridays. So for the past 2 semesters, I've actually had Fridays off, which means that, like, I get to spend, like, a day or two, like, doing homework stuff, and then I have, like, a day, like, to myself, and that's where I can design stickers. So, yeah, definitely a bit of a change for sure, but I think it's a positive change. I'd say, like, sort of what I said before, like, following your passion, for sure. Like, for me, like, doing art and, like, drawing, and also, like, helping kids, because, as I said, I joined the Hand in Hand Club, where we help kids with special needs, and I also work at a summer job where I also help kids, so I decided, like, I could, like, sort of combine those two, like, interests into one, and that's how I ended up, like, choosing my major. So I definitely say, like, go for something that, like, you're interested in, like, and not just for, like, the sake of, like, a resume, but, like, actually doing something that you want to invest your time in, And I know, like, even saying that, like, it can be hard to decide, like, what you're actually interested in, But, like, even if you go in, like, undecided and then figure out what you want to major in later on, they do have, like, resources to, like, help you, like, figure out, like, what you want to major in, So you don't need to decide something right away, Worst comes to worst, you could, like, change your major, Like, if you decide, like, in your first semester or so that you're not really, like, interested in what you majored in, So, yeah, there's definitely no shame in, like, going undecided or, like, changing your major, For sure, yeah. So that's the advice I'd have on that.
When he was first going, he was just going to do visual arts as a major because art is fun and art is exciting. But I think as his mom, we sort of thought, well, what can you do in addition to what you love that may be more marketable when you're out of school? And I think if he, it's great to do art, but what if he wants to venture out and do his own thing? I thought him saying, not only do you have an art degree, but I have an education degree, which means he works with kids. So I thought it kind of
it's like
made it a little more you know, a little better as far as that goes. Like it'll give you more when you get out of school.
And like that's what I was talking about, like sort of combining like both of those interests into one. And I felt that it was definitely like a better college for me. It was definitely like the right fit for me. So I know it can be like hard, like especially if you're in that phase of like searching through colleges and like figuring out which one to go to. It can definitely be hard at first, but I'd say just like keep your mind open to like different options, and you'll definitely figure out like where you want to go. And there's also no shame in like not going to college either. I want to make that clear. Like even if you don't go to college, like you still have like a lot of opportunities for like jobs and like being able to find like a career. So if that's the path you want to take, then that's completely fine too. Well, it was very nice meeting you all. You all seem really cool. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. All right. Of course, thank you.